So, a lot of you know that myself and my youngest daughter, Antonia, are very international people. And I'm in a cafe in Salerno now. And from 3:30 to 5:30 in the morning, maybe even 2:30 to 5:30, I have been dealing with a crisis with the SIT, Study Abroad program. My daughter had a medical emergency, and SIT uses a company called ISOS, International SOS. And then there's the insurance company. She was treated by a doctor outside of the hospital with antibiotics for an infection that she didn't respond to. She was then admitted and had multiple MRIs and CAT scans and things like this, and they found out that she needed surgery on her abdomen area. That there was an infection going on, and actually I think there's 2 or 3 diagnoses. And ISOS blocked the surgery. I don't care what they say, they blocked the surgery. What does that mean? My daughter gave them full authorization to communicate with me as her mother, and they did everything possible to make it difficult for me to get the medical information. Grazie, che bello. Look at this, you guys. Tell me that isn't, whoops, there goes my blueberries. Oh, but she has to give me a forchetta. She didn't bring me a fork. So, anyway, these are flat pancakes. They're healthy pancakes. So, I gotta keep an eye for the waitress. I can flag her down. They continue to communicate with her extensively. 22 years old, just turned 22. She's more Italian than she is American, even though she's dual citizen. And they were trying to say little subtle manipulative things, and they wouldn't approve her surgery. The surgeon on the ground kept saying, I need to do the surgery. I need to do the surgery. I'm going to put her on. Una forchetta e no, none of these. In Italia, taviolo. So, he said when she came in what was going to happen, and if we didn't get results at 3 days, then we would do the surgery, and because it could be dangerous for her to get on a plane with this free-flowing fluid, could make her abdomen bust or something bust, I'm not really sure. The ISOS would not do the surgery. She went in on Friday, and today is Tuesday in Indonesia. SIT Study Abroad program. I had the main health guy, who is a darling, darling man, but what they were doing was, grazie signora, was absolutely inappropriate. And they kept, what I found out is where I was trying to get information, they were limiting the information they were giving to me. They weren't putting anything in writing. They wanted it to be on WhatsApp. They text me a message and say, we're ready for you to call us, because it's just easier if we talk on the phone. And I had very specific questions about, did the water pocket get bigger or lower? Did the infection numbers go higher or lower? Where's her pain level? And they kept skirting the issues. I would call them, and one day they'd say, oh, she's in the best hospital. We don't want to transfer her. We don't want her going to another hospital. This is the best hospital, and if there was to be surgery, this is where she would have it. Then the next day, once the doctor now was pushing for the surgery, the ISOS people are insisting that she has to have 5 more days of antibiotics on top of the 3 days of antibiotics, because they're trying to do everything to not do the surgery. They wanted her to get out of the country. They didn't give a shit where she flew to. They just wanted her to be out of their country, off of their medical plan, to not have to pay for this surgery. These are healthy pancakes. They're made with like oat flour, so they're very flat. And then this is a chai spice thing, delicious. And I then found out that they in fact were extensively texting my daughter and giving her information and denying me the information, and they didn't want anything in writing with me for fear of a lawsuit. I'm not an idiot. last night at 3 o'clock in the morning, I had gotten the director of SIT involved, and the problem is, she went in on Thursday, I think it is. I think it was Thursday. It could have been Friday. But, so then you got Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday going on. We are either in our 5th day or her 6th day in the hospital, and they're stalling to not do the surgery. They were trying to lead me to believe the hospital was inferior. The entire system in Indonesia was inferior. And it would be better to go somewhere else. Well, last night I got my daughter on the video camera and she walked the hospital. Oh my God, it's a first-class hospital. It is as good as any American hospital. It's 50% to 100% more modern than all the hospitals I've been in Italy. It is absolutely a state-of-the-art hospital. I told the doctor, and he said, well, why are they not letting it happen? I said, I don't want to offend you, but do you want me to tell you what they're telling me? But please don't take it out on my daughter. They're telling me that your country is inferior medically, and the hospital and the surgery is inferior. The doctor started laughing. I said, I know. My granddaughter is half Indonesian. Tons of Americans go to Bali. Anyway, my daughter's going to be having her surgery. I don't know, it's mezzogiorno, it's half day right now in Italy. She's having her surgery in probably about 10 hours. It'll be in the middle of the night for me. I got 2 Italian guys over there looking at me and they don't understand I'm 61 years old. It's so funny. But what I saw is I had gotten on the phone. There was an Australian doctor. They're in Jakarta. And the Jakarta team of ISOS was blocking the surgery. And the insurance company would not proceed unless it was deemed medically necessary. And the doctor in Indonesia said it was medically necessary. But they wanted a second. They just kept stalling. So I am now making this public that anytime a child goes on a study abroad program, not only do you need to ask the school for the documentation in advance of your child not being there, for you to have access to all the information to oversee the situation, you must also get the power of attorney, because they kept, no matter what, even when she gave them verbal authorization to share with me, they kept keeping me out of the loop. And she said that even the ISOS doctor was rude, condescending, short, and flippant, telling her what she needed to do, didn't listen to her, made her feel like she had to get off the phone. So at that point in time, she downsized to like a reception and intake person with ISOS. And that person then ended up saying, the insurance doesn't want to pay for this. But the truth is, ISOS has to approve the surgery for the insurance to pay for it. So that's a lot. ISOS is what I would call a blocker in the sales industry. They are there. They're probably, if I were to do an investigation, they're probably set up and paid for and funded by insurance companies to block the majority of surgeries or things that would happen in a foreign country. And by them blocking the surgeries, they're making the kids be shipped out. They're using fear to scare the parents and scare the children. And then they don't have to pay for the surgery. But the incident that happened in the country that they're in, this is now a pre-existing condition. So when you ship the child to another country, for example, my daughter needs to come to Italy now. Cute little Italian walking by. They are creating a pre-existing condition that you can't even get medical insurance for. So when my daughter has the medical insurance for the study abroad, they did everything. So I'll make another video. I was on the phone with them and I ripped them all a new asshole. I made it really clear. I don't give a shit that they're doctors. What they did was unprofessional, dangerous. They were going against the doctor on the ground And so the bottom line is, I'm letting the public know. I'm not, and this is only half of the problem that happened with the study abroad program. There was a lot of other things that happened earlier that we tried to resolve. It's not the program itself, it's the administration on how they handled the kids abroad, and it was pretty bad.